Mr. Rothschild.
Hello, Rothschild. Mr. Gameler.
Mr. Rothschild.
How do you do?
Very well, sir.
How are you, Rothschild?
Hello. Am I too early or too late?
Early. They're still in the conference room.
Oh, thanks.
My lords and gentlemen.
Your hat. Oh. Thank you, Mr. Barry.
The meeting is called to order. Gentlemen, bids for a French loan for 450 million francs have been received and recorded. Offers to take all or a part of the issue of bonds, the greatest single issue in the history of European finance, were received from the following banking houses: J. Lafitte and Company, Paris; Gay Moulin, Vienna; Hope, London; Bertrand de Lis, Madrid; Baring and Company, London. It is the decision of the conference that the highest authoritative bid is that of Baring and Company, London. They will be awarded 3/4 of the issue at 71. There being no further...
But you're mistaken, Mr. Harris, there is.
Mr. Nathan Rothschild.
I'm compelled, my lords and gentlemen, to draw your attention to what must certainly be an oversight.
I regret to say, Mr. Rothschild, the decision must stand.
But my house sent in its bid to take the entire issue, and our price was a point better than Mr. Baring's. Why is that not recorded?
Perhaps Count Ledrance would like to explain the situation to Mr. Rothschild.
Your Excellency.
Your bid was received, Mr. Rothschild. But to put it as delicately as possible, it was thrown out, shall we say, on a technicality.
A technicality? What am I to understand by that?
You are at liberty to give my statement any interpretation you choose.
You mean, in brief, I am a Jew?
Likewise, in brief, I do.
Gentlemen, I must accept your decision. But since Count Ledrance has been frank enough to admit the reason for our exclusion, I venture to advise him that these attacks on my race are ignorant and futile. He may strike and strike again. A Jew falls, 1,000 are wounded, but the race lives on. But unfortunately for His Excellency, we are evidently eternal. Mr. Harris, you say that Barings take 3/4 of the loan. May I ask who takes the other 1/4?
That is being taken up by Count Ledrance, Prince Metternich, Count Talleyrand.
I see. A family party. Good day, gentlemen.
Your luck is out, Mr. Rothschild.
Get a Frankfurt and take her at once.
Excuse me, sir. I heard the result of the meeting and came to offer my sympathy.
Oh, well, thanks. If you have any spare sympathy, you might keep a little in reserve for Baring, Ledrance and Company.
I don't think they need it, sir.
No, they may later. Do you realize that Ledrance, Metternich, Talleyrand, and the rest of the party are taking 1/4 of this loan without a penny between them?
But they'll make millions on the rise.
Ah.
He's tired.
Perhaps I'd better call again later.
Roth?
Sir.
If you could buy government 4% bonds at 60, would you pay 74 for them?
No, sir.
Would you, Hannah?
Goodness me, no.
I thought not.
Nathan, what's in your mind?
Murder. Hannah, I'll tell you exactly what's in my mind. And this may interest you, too, Roth. Baring and those others headed by Ledrance have taken this new loan at 71. On the 1st of the month, they're going to offer it to the public at 74. It pays 4%. But there is already in existence a previous government bond which also pays 4%, of which we have a large holding.
Yeah.
This bond is now selling at 73. Hannah says I'm tired, but I'm not too tired to realize that if the public can buy one government bond for 73, they won't buy a new issue bearing the same interest for 74.
That's true, sir. But Baring and the other bankers will run up the old bonds, and when they rise to about
I
75...
know what you're going to say. They'll make the old ones rise, and then launch the new ones a point lower, and the public rushes in.
Quite so, sir.
But suppose there is no rise. Suppose somebody pricks the balloon and it doesn't go up. Suppose before they can run it up, somebody else begins to run it down. Suppose by the first of the month, these old bonds now selling at 73 should fall down to 63. Then they couldn't possibly launch the new loan at 74 because nobody would buy it.
No.
And Baring and Ladrans and his little band of bankrupt brigands will wait for it to go up. But suppose instead of going up, it still goes down to 55, to 50, to 45, to 40, why they'll never be able to launch the loan at all. And by God, that's where it's going. Sell. Sell. Sell.
Look at Rothschild. You'd think he was selling apples instead of government bonds.
Bonds are now at 53.
All right. I'll keep on selling till I tell you to stop.
You're creating something like a panic on the exchange, sir.
I know. What kind of a flower is this that Hannah gave me this morning?
I don't know, sir.
Very pretty. Smells nice, too.
Mr. Rothschild, do you know what you're doing to the market? What have you heard?
My dear fellow, I don't hear things. I just imagine them. You know what kind of a flower this is?
No.
52! 52! That means I'm down about 25 million francs. And you the same, Ledrans.
Can't something be done to stop him, Baring? You're the biggest banker in England. Are we all to be ruined by the gymnastics of a dirty Shylock?
I've thrown the entire resources of Baring's bank into the pool, but I can't stop it. He's got us on the run.
Right. I bet you half a crown that Baring makes straight for this post within 2 minutes.
I'll take you, sir.
I'm tired of losing money. I'd like to win some.
You're a magician, sir. Here he is.
Mr. Rothschild, I don't have to tell you this is nothing less than slaughter. You know my position. I'm responsible for this new issue at 71, and you're making it impossible for me to put it on the market.
We are both bankers. You knew I ought to have had a share of this loan. Why did you shut me out?
Certain pressure was brought to bear on me.
Ha! Ladrans.
Well, yes.
Then let Ladrans speak for himself. All right, Mr. Baring. I'll come. I'll follow you. About how much has this thing cost us up to now?
About £5 million.
All right. We'll make 10. I hope I haven't kept you waiting, gentlemen, because I know you must all be very busy.
We sent for you, Rothschild, to make you an offer. You resent being left out of this loan. Mr. Baring, as you know, holds 3/4 of it. He's prepared to part with half of that to you. Will that satisfy you?
What about the other quarter?
That, as you know, is held by us.
Oh, yes, you bought it at 71.
Well, we're responsible for it.
You bought it at 71.
It was allotted to us.
And not against your will, I hope.
Certainly not.
So you bought it at 71.
What do you mean, bought it?
Can you pay for it at 71?
You know perfectly well that no one is prepared to pay in full for an entire issue.
Were you prepared to pay anything? Could you have stood a 10-point drop? No. You took it for a rise. You're financially irresponsible, the whole lot of you, except Mr. Baring. Well, I know just how much money you've got, each one of you. And if I like to hold down the market till after the first of the month, and I can, you're all ruined and dishonored, including Baring's bank. Now, I'll rescue you on one condition. That you pass me the entire issue at 68.
That's impossible. Now, what excuse can we offer to the public?
Just say it was found necessary.
On what grounds?
Oh, on a technicality.
No.
Very well.
Wait, please. We have to deal with Mr. Rothschild. Under the circumstances, I consider his offer a generous one. And as the head of the House of Baring,
I insist on Mr. Rothschild's terms being accepted.
What? Are you going to take it off our hands, Rothschild? That's uncommon good of you.
Hey, Count Nesselrode, are you also on the preferred list?
Yes, but I much prefer to be off of it.
Well, we've no choice.
I accept.
I say yes without hesitation.
Count Ledrans?
Very well.
To save time, I had this little contract drawn, which I shall ask you gentlemen to sign.
You seem to have been very sure of yourself.
I was. Quite. Will you sign first?
$49.
You won your fight with me, Q. But remember, victory may be bought too dearly.